TNE is another area that we're working closely with the GTech on. And we'll be having a TNE policy dialogue. When is that? 25th March. Yeah. It will happen at the British Council because some research is going on with GTech to try and create that enabling environment for universities across the two countries to collaborate and work. Another area which is also key, I'm sure, will be entrepreneurship hubs in universities to make sure that before university products come out, they've had a stint with, how do you start a business? How do you link up with funding? How do you trim your business ideas? And as I speak now, we've done that by creating linkages between universities here and universities in the UK, for example. So University of Ghana worked with Imperial College of London, UHAS, St. Andrews, a few of them that we've done. And we've done about almost 10 of those partnerships, out of which we expect that these kinds of collaborations will yield these kinds of hubs. The universities have now formed a network of universities with entrepreneurship hubs in them because they want to become that springboard where other universities, can pick from and, go much wider with it. So that's currently happening, and it's something that will be interesting to know about. Embedding career counseling in universities, and we are even thinking even pre-university, strengthening that so that when a child is going through the education system, they would have formed an idea as to which path they want to get on and be able to get help to accumulate the experience.
At what level can we introduce this?
We can do, even though we are doing it now at at the university level, but I think we can do it even before.
Where?
Like primary SHS. Okay. Yeah.
That's fine. I just want to tell you.
Yeah. So that we can then connect what we are doing with the universities downstairs, so that process can start and then let kids form that idea of career. We can use, one thing I've always said is one of the untapped resources within our system is parents. I'm a parent, you're a parent, we all have our various careers, but that career thinking, probably you will use it at home. You talk to your kids, that's it. But we can create programs where parents come in as volunteers, and schools can get access to career counseling. So, and I'm sure many parents will be willing to get into a network like that where we say, okay, we need a doctor to go and speak to SHS students in Nalerogu about and it's something we can work with the ministry on. Alumni is also a big. We currently have over 2,000, if I'm not mistaken, alumni of people who've studied in the UK and they're either here in Ghana or in the UK. In fact, yesterday I was speaking to a Ghanaian scholarly society of Ghanaians who are lecturing in UK universities, who have come together and they're looking for opportunity to link up with universities here. And they do annual, and they bring, they invite their fellow academics to the UK as well to see the systems and to, bring some learning back. So that's an area that could be a talent pool for industry that we can work, with the ministry around. When it comes to TVET, and that's where I'm particularly interested because that's more closer to the agenda of jobs for young people, and that's an area that we would closely look at working. So I spoke about entrepreneurship hubs in universities. So what we've told the universities is to look at TVET colleges around them and give them access to the entrepreneurship hubs that they have within the university. So, for example, University of Ghana Business School has their innovation hub, and every year they send out calls for students to team up around the business idea. They'll be provided with support, sometimes with funding, to be able to try and start that business whilst in school. What we've told them is, so University of Ghana can work, look around them and say, okay, which TVET colleges are around us, so that they could be brought into that network. Because one of the things they told us was the fact that when you have university students who are planning an idea, so, practical idea, something in poetry, and they need to have a tool that is physically to be made. They can rely on someone who is into metal and welding, who is in TVET and not in the university. And so it's a very happy collaboration that we are beginning to, try and put together, and will be good to, continue to work on. And for me, one area that is also, and we're taking quite seriously, we did a small pilot in opportunity-driven, and I spoke about it at the even it was Harriet who mentioned it, where instead of starting with education, you started with industry. So we went out, looked at industry, and says, okay, where are the job opportunities? So, and that's what we did in the north, in Tamale, and on the SAPI project, all the commercial farms. They told us that there are 3 areas where they are lacking, human resource. One is in the area of someone would know agronomy, 2 tractor services, management, and then 3 the farm enterprise, the whole business around farming. So once they gave us that information, we then brought TVET institutions up north and says, okay, this is what industry is saying. The 2 parties gave us representatives, and we had a week or 2 where they created curriculum. So what industry was then saying was, if you can bring in young people, we will participate in the training. So they trained with the TVET colleges, and then they had what we call the work experience learning, in the with the farms. And as that was going on, the farms themselves were looking at the young people who were coming through. And before the program ended, they're saying, okay, you brought us probably 5 people to train. We'll keep maybe 3. We like this guy, we like this guy. We want to retain them when they are done. This was done on a pilot basis. So we brought in, I think, a little over 200 young people. We're still doing a tracer study to see how many of them have remained. Because even before the program ended, we started getting indications that some of the farms wanted to keep them. We can replicate this in other areas. Automobile, look at where companies start speaking to them, then we can start the process backwards to say, okay, these guys need this number of people, or if they do their work planning, they will know that maybe in the next 5-10 years, these are the kinds of, and so we then bring that back to TVET colleges and start, creating a pipeline to send for them to get through. After this, I'll be very interested, who the TVET point person is here.